Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where today I think we might be ending this. Maybe. We're certainly making moves to end this. Out of curiosity, if I go into... Okay, it won't let me try to go into encampment mode here. If we go into encampment mode, we can't quite get where we're going. Okay, never mind then. Let's just go for it. I was going to say, because it's going to drop us on the Forge of Souls with no movement left, right? So it would be cool if we were in encampment mode when that happened. Cross to the Forge of Souls, confront Bellicor, and claim the prize. Both for the extra stats and because the healing would be nice. But, yeah. Okay, not happening. You know what? I am going to take this contract, actually, because we're not going to... The game's not going to be long enough for us to not accomplish it. I don't know that we will accomplish it, but we're definitely not going to suffer any penalty.
On your feet!
Okay, let's get up here, replace that camp.
I'm in charge at last.
Again, probably a lot of this is going to turn out to be superfluous, but we should play as though there are going to be more turns, because I don't know that there aren't going to be more turns. Alright, do that stuff. Let's just go down the list of our armies. So Targog is... hard to tell. Hard to tell if I've evaded the Orthodoxy armies or not. I do know... Oh, wow. A lot of fires out here. I do know that I really want to push over to Dwarf Country and do horrible things to them, but we just have to be careful about how we do it. Because if that Orthodoxy... Never mind. If that Orthodoxy army catches me, I am 100% dead. Targog's force is just not very impressive. Gofk is now in full health and at full count, so I guess let's just step out here and ambush.
Survivor of the flame trial.
Droll, you're gonna try to close a portal, I guess.
Follow the prey. A new
Let's see.
direction.
It said in the text they were permanent. It was a lie. I wonder if they're just gonna like reassert themselves periodically, or... It's really interesting that the flavor text tells you they are permanent, and it's just absolutely not true. They did not bother to make it true. Really bizarre. Okay, they're not moving on us super aggressively, which I do appreciate. Here are the many, many Northern Province armies that killed Gofk. I feel like Gofk has had a really tough go of things. Yeah, things are looking pretty bad for Shilong, and I definitely cannot get up there in time to help. My assumption is that, like, probably every 4 or 5 turns, the portals are going to pump out armies. And maybe also any portals that have been closed will just reopen. That seems like a pretty sensible way to implement this. Which is to say that I don't think we're in any danger. Even if we wanted to, like, take an extra turn to heal, I don't think that we would be in much danger. We probably... I don't think I'm going to, but we should remember to go into encampment mode before moving to the point so that we get the bonus. I hope that we actually get the bonus stats from being in the movement mode. Hooray! Larger fire pits. All right, let's see what happens. Right? Because in theory, it does give you melee defense. The leadership is pretty irrelevant, but...
Meal time.
No, will you not?
Hold, master.
This army cannot attack in its current stance. Okay, this is... It's not just move to a point. It's considered an attack. And then the game crashes to desktop, because of course it does. I'm going to fix this. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Jesus, do the thing.
This shockingly outpace.
And... okay, that's better. That's promising.
Empires forged, demons slain. The realm of chaos endured and mastered. The time has come to fulfill the final part of the pact. The spirits imprisoned in the Tome of Fates, now untethered. They combine into a single light, casting a shadow as they journey to the Forge. Where shadows fall, we shall step. A bridge revealed to the Forge of Souls. Belacor is on the verge of godhood, but he has not ascended yet. What he started, we will finish. Destroy him, and claim the power of the Bear God.
Yeah, that seems like it should be no problem, right? Okay. So, yeah, it's all soul grinders all the time. The Slaneshi ones are anti-large and are pretty powerful. The Cornate soul grinders have a precursor missile weapon. I don't know exactly what that means. The Nurgle ones I'm a little bit less concerned about. They have a ranged attack, but it's not so devastating. A lot of these other units are nothing. And then, you know, Belacor. Belacor himself, honestly, 75 melee attack, 60 melee defense. How much resistance does he have? 25% physical resistance. He's got a fancy sword. Okay, this honestly doesn't look that bad. I mean, feast up, friends. The auto-resolver would even give this to us. That's promising. However, the auto-resolver is just doing math, and it doesn't take into account any of the weird stuff that might happen during the battle or whatever. Also, apparently we're going to get reinforcements. One has to assume, yeah, it's going to be a big complicated thing. All right. So I guess it's going to be kind of like the other, the 4 Demon Prince battles then, with this 3-tiered structure. I'm actually very curious how they're going to differentiate this from those. I do kind of wish that the Demon Prince battles were a little bit more differentiated from each other. Like, obviously they feel pretty different because you're fighting dramatically different unit lineups, but it would be cool if the actual structure of the battles was a little bit more differentiated. Like, if the Tzeentch one involved having to traverse uncertain terrain or a maze of some kind, you know.
I sit upon the precipice of godhood, and you have the gall to believe that the bear's carrion is yours. Come then, try and take it.
Okay, and we're just gonna do to this guy what you should do to everyone who says, come and take it. You go and you take it. And you don't leave a whole lot of them behind. Alright, I feel like everybody should probably back the fuck up. Let's let the big guns do the thing the big guns do. Well, let's let the big guns do the thing that they're supposed to do. That they sometimes even actually do. Gosh, I hope things actually work. Alright, just get out of the way. Kabam. Start the battle. Okay, they're not in sleep mode. They're thinking about shooting, certainly.
What tricks they've got?
They're considering it. They're doing the math. Double checking. It's important to check, you know. Okay, well that was something, I guess. So bloodletters, plague bearers. It's just sort of a general mixed chaos thing. Okay, there we go. That's a real hit. Yeah, this was going to happen pretty much no matter what, I think. Move as fast as we can toward these ranged units. And I don't know that we're going to have to involve the melee here very much. It seems like the man-eaters are going to figure it out. But let's at least get them forward. I'm trying to play careful with our resources this time. Maybe a little bit more carefully than I did last time. And obviously the health of the Iron Blasters is not like a major concern. And while it is the case that ammunition does have a supply cost to replenish, just as health does, as far as I know, there's no limit on ammo replenishment. All right, Croesus will do a fine job just snack healing up. I'm actually really surprised at how much damage... Oh, no, that's right. These are the Iron Guts who were already wounded. Okay. Feels pretty over with. So, I guess let's start positioning for this without really having much of a sense of how things are going to go here. We'll set up like it's going to be another, you know, like it's going to work the same way as the other ones, and we'll see what happens.
Spreading fire.
If we do actually have to hold out against waves out here, it's going to be pretty ugly. Oh, that's sick. Check that out. I wonder how hard it would be to get one of these for my living room. I'm just saying, I have a big living room. There's this whole like almost a room-sized space in our living room that we don't really know what to do with. You know? Could be useful. Okay, yeah, it is absolutely just going to be another one of these. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. So we have a couple of these, and I'm assuming we're going to see the enemy forces that are coming in are probably going to be sort of Chaos Undivided style armies, right? I think that means our positioning is basically pretty good here. We're going to want to close these up as best we can. Not really going to be able to close both of them. And I think what I'm going to do is... let's move the Iron Guts up here. I'm trying to create a little bit of space for the Iron Blasters to stand in where they don't have stuff right on top of them. Like, whatever we can do to make it easier for them to fire is very worthwhile.
Hunter moving.
All right, here comes a demonic wave. Yep, they're having a rough go of things here.
Where's the mate?
So, Nurglings are not exactly the most terrifying thing we could be facing. Alright, Hellstriders are like a real unit, kind of. And it looks like we are going to get to just close things up here. So this gun is in permanent wiggle mode. This gun's not wiggling, but it's also not firing.
Let's go, boys.
And it would be cool if it was firing.
I smell game. Rejoice in flame.
Okay, so we have some good approaches here that we can firewall off. I'm gonna drop flame tornadoes in. Probably, you know what? That might be a little bit too far. They may be past that by the time it goes off, but we'll see what happens. Okay, had time to get everything up. And I am going to let the ranged handle as much of this as they can.
Gush out, boys!
Not getting a lot of actual shooting from our iron blasters.
Me!
Actually, get over here.
For me!
Okay. Specifying targets helps. Shouldn't have to, but we do. Alright, from here, try taking that shot.
Hungry!
And let's make sure these are both in guard mode so they don't chase. Although I guess the things we're fighting are not really runners anyway. Please focus on the flamethrowers a little bit. It'd be really cool if we did not lose any towers. Okay, we're getting actual ranged fire now. Hold up and hopefully really minimize casualties.
Tracker, trapper, killer! Ogres!
Okay, one or two more good volleys should hopefully shatter the morale of these units over here. Yeah, they're getting pretty close. Is there a way for me to like refresh the health of this? No, I can reset it to a different building type, but I can't just pour supplies into its HP. That seems like a thing you would expect to be able to do, right? Okay, there's a couple units of Warhounds left.
I'll smell ya!
I had to say, I'm very impressed with these Noblars. They actually took all that charge, and I know they had a lot of support, but very impressed they were able to survive that.
Iron guts!
I can't believe they're still just pouring units. Like, hey, cut it out. We have places we have to go. We have things we got to do. Are the towers okay? I bet if I... Okay, that one tower took like a couple hundred damage. Not a big deal. Yep, they are still... I wonder if it's just never going to stop. We're going to have to deal with stray hound armies coming in from behind us for the entire battle.
When do we eat?
Okay. Broken, and yes, it looks like the answer is yes. We will have to deal with armies coming in from behind us forever. That sucks.
When supper?
So we have to capture this platform, and I don't actually see any enemies.
Follow the Morse code. Find a meal.
Well, we can probably just abandon this area and leave the task of managing these dog reinforcements
Let's go.
to the actual towers and stuff.
Here we go. Flaming footsteps.
Although maybe not. Maybe they won't quite get the job done. It does seem very weird though, right? Like, given both how strange it is and also how buggy things have generally been, I do kind of have to wonder if this is a bug. Because why would it work this way? What would be the reason for that?
Here I go. Fire me.
Sorry, I just want to move Greasus, actually. I mean, there's no lock on this thing. Are there just no defenses? I think that might actually be what we're seeing. Like, we can just go up here and grab this. Okay, that's very strange, but I'll take it.
Biggest in the tribe.
Don't really know how to set up to defend this.
Tribe on the move. The more cool.
And again, I wish I could put down.
Looking for me.
I wish I could set up my units in a not straight line or rectangle formation.
Here we go.
Well, more easily, you know what I mean. Obviously, I can do it. Great personal annoyance.
All together. Swarm together.
Alright, just kind of get in the middle. And the dogs are making it through. In a way that's pretty annoying.
Ogres.
Let's continue re-ammoing the people who need more ammo.
Serve the ogres.
Yeah. Super weird.
All mates on the way. Tacky.
Okay, 45 seconds until the new wave. So, the positions of these gates are interesting. The locations that we can build walls in, I mean. Let's definitely get maximum towers up. These towers are doing wonderful work so far. Even more towers for dog control. But I wonder, like, with there being barricades in these positions, I do wonder if we're going to see more enemies come from the back than I was expecting. I was assuming we'd have to worry about these, like, forge-looking things, mostly. Well, whatever. It does also seem like the dogs are getting more frequent. Like, these two units of Chaos Hounds are right on top of each other.
Of fire.
Go over there and just throw some punches, would you? Once the barricades are up, I'm going to feel a lot better.
Built an empire to sustain this futile quest. That is the first thing I shatter after my ascension. As I feast on Ursa's power, my soul grinders shall feed on yours.
Okay.
Here comes another load of
Weird how much quieter that was than all of the other audio, but fine. Okay, so this is where we get pushed by all of the soul grinders, and also those were just like Chaos Furies? Oh, Feral Manticores, never mind. Also, Chaos Giants, like named scary Chaos Giants. Definitely a concern. Do I have... Yes, I do have a reinforcement point right here. We have some units available. I'm probably going to try to hold these resources as much as possible. So, with the two barricades up, the Chaos Warhounds are probably a concern of the past. My Firebelly is way out in front in a place where he shouldn't be, because I did not tell him not to follow those dogs. And we need to start cutting down Soul Grinders as quickly as possible. So I think the move here is just hard range focus. That group of units, yeah, it contains a couple of lead belchers, but no other pistols. I mean, the lead belchers do okay damage when they are allowed to do damage. They're very finicky, you know? I think I am going to pull in those two units, though, as early as possible. Generally, these things are pretty heavily armored, right? Yeah, so I'm not so worried about knife throwing. And Greasus, in theory, should be really good at fighting them, but obviously we would prefer for him to be on the ones who are not Slaanesh units. So I think I'm going to try to command him over here. We're gonna try to fight these ones, and hopefully we can bring that thing down really fast. The Iron Guts will be much, much better at defending us against the non-Slaneshi ones. I think we gotta line them up for the fight too. We're gonna like charge down here. We're only being pushed from the one side for the moment, so I think we're gonna try to focus really hard on that one side. Let's reposition you. You're actually fine. The giant is not terribly armored, right? Yeah, I might want to just pull these units down here. They can absorb a charge and also maybe actually do some damage.
Off I go!
I don't love these lead belchers coming through right there, but at least they came through running the correct direction. Would have been a real shame if they had tried to go the other way.
Strongest, richest, the ogre tyrant, eternal.
Let's nuke its melee attack. And honestly, Massacre, like, let's fucking get the job done, right? Okay, so the Manticore dove right in. I'm going to do a couple of things here. First of all, Overcast Flaming Sword. Let's just give everybody a great big attack boost. These Chaos Furies are already almost dead. You two stay up here to form a better wall. Yeah, we're going to have those Noblars. We're going to just leave them to suffer, basically. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to cast direct fire magic here. I guess we could fireball something. But I think what I'm going to do is just try to add our caster to the melee. In fact, that Manticore is a fine target. Alright, so we're in melee with them as much as we can be. Let's put you two in guard mode. Focus on killing those Chaos Furies, and then we're gonna, I don't know what.
Hunter!
Okay, we're burning through these things pretty fast.
My sights! Crush them! Crunch their skulls! Me!
Are we getting pushed from the other side now? We are. It's mostly just pink horrors. I think we can probably just have this thing turn around. The lead belchers, I would like to continue this way. Honestly, I think we probably need to run the man-eaters down the slope before we start shooting, because I don't want them all on top of each other where they're like blocking each other from shooting the way I would like. I think we are going to pull the hunter over here. For the moment, the hunter's job can be to just kind of try to hold that area. The whole lot of you focus on the giant as best you can. It's the only thing you're actually going to be able to deal damage to. Greasus' target died real fast. No big surprise there. Let's see how that works.
All shall burn!
And I don't know, the units that are actually taking the brunt of the melee damage just get buff.
The ogre tyrant, eternal.
Come on, just kill it. That thing is holding all of us back at the ramp entrance.
Nothing for meat,
Terrible.
dinner.
Okay, these are Exalted Bloodletters. These are real enemies. We got to break off some of our Iron Guts to deal with this, and we definitely need to turn the attention of this Iron Blaster. I'm going to have it roll all the way up here. I don't want it doing indirect fire because while it is capable of indirect fire, it is less accurate. Is this all still... No. Some Demonettes have shown up, and that is probably going to deal real damage to us. But I think the plan doesn't actually change very much. Yeah. Okay. Here, we can drop the combat stats of some of these units. Speed boost you.
The fatties. Many a pistols.
I do not like the way that they have successfully bottlenecked us at the bottom of the slope, though. All right, I'm going to move the man-eaters back, actually. I was going to try to clean up these things real fast, but now I'm going to have Croesus do that, and we'll have the man-eaters just shoot the stuff that's coming up the ramp. Honestly, the giant is totally dying. The knives are absolutely getting the job done. Those demonettes are not going to make it through that barricade anytime soon. You probably do need to focus a little bit more on these units, despite the thing that I told you to do. You know, hey, don't listen to me. What do I know? Okay. Oof. Rhesus hits really hard.
Biggest in the tribe. Ogres attack.
Rescue your friends.
Lead belchers.
Lead Belcher's back as well. Let's pull in the other unit of Lead Belchers, which is a thing I totally remembered I was going to do.
Take it all.
Look how much I'm remembering it.
Real time. Bring us meat. This way.
That is a Slaneshi one, so we probably do. Yeah, geez, look at the big chunk it took out of him. So we probably do need to get him some backup. That said, we're also having other problems here that we do need to deal with in a real hurry. We're about to have Massacre up again, which is a big deal. All right, all of you, finish the giant. That should not take very long. Looks like the Hunter has cleaned things up very thoroughly. Gosh, I love Hunter on Stonehorn. What an extremely good unit.
Thunder and forth.
Just do a charge clean through them. So what we really need to do is get over here.
The ultimate hunter. Tyrant of tyrants. Fire God. Crusher.
Turn around on them.
Man-eaters. Meal time. Follow the fire.
Any soul grinder that's not a Slaanesh soul grinder, I feel like our wizard can probably actually just fight in melee.
I ain't no cover. Yeah. Man-eater pistols. Eat 'em.
Okay, we still have lots of stuff happening that I'm not like actively paying attention to as well. There's a significant amount of action of some kind going on down here. Yeah, many enemies streaming through. The towers are taking a lot of damage. We've lost, I mean, losing containment on those barricades probably doesn't matter. These barricades getting back up is certainly meaningful. Oh, that one's actually, that is up. That's just what it looks like. Yeah, okay, that's also true here. Fine. Fine and good. You know what? Maybe, since all that's left over here is soul grinders, maybe this isn't the right thing for these Noblars to be doing. Yeah, it feels like we should refocus a little bit here. So some of you need to make sure those pink horrors don't actually go anywhere. It looks like most of the real units are dead, though.
The quarry is mine. Call me.
Which yes, is me saying that I do not consider horrors of Tzeentch to be real units.
Nobblers, carry me.
As soon as he actually gets moving, I'm gonna pop his. All right, I think that's good.
Legend.
All right, are we like arrayed in a way that makes sense here? You two have what looks like pretty clean shots. I'm gonna try to spread the man-eaters out a little bit more. This unit of Noblar trappers can probably just... You guys did some good work. Maybe just fall back for a second. All right, I'm going to spread these out in the hopes that, first of all, it'll draw the soul grinders forward into a position where Greases can reach them more easily, and second, we can get a little bit of a better firing concave here.
Conquest.
Yeah, we're getting a lot more volume of fire now. Okay, never mind. That's actually under control already.
My blood burns on edge. Behold my guts. Bring us me in my gut.
Okay. I think we are clear.
Is life.
Let's get the fire belly back. Good job. Here's a treat.
I seek challenge. The more cool.
Okay. It doesn't seem to have grasped its new situation yet. There we go. It realized who it's fighting. It is so easy for units in this game to get, like, completely hung up on each other. Alright, we've done a fine job here. Let's get the Iron Blasters turned around, but I feel like we can let the static defenses handle a lot of this from here. Which is to say that I probably have to rebuild some of the static defenses in some places. But actually, I don't really want to rebuild these towers while they're still surrounded by horrors, because they'll probably just get destroyed again. So let's prioritize the horrors. Oh, sorry, you already were prioritizing some horrors. Well done. Is everything calmer up here?
Me.
Let's go ahead and throw people some ammunition.
Fire is life.
Probably be good to get this unit back to full health. Okay. Yeah, stuff is breaking. It doesn't look to me like the...
Hungry.
In theory, the Iron Blasters should be able to shoot, right?
Follow the Morse.
Maybe this isn't actually clear. Might be the case. I do hate the amount of morale that these things just, like, do not have, and yet they are still alive. Okay, it seems like a lot of the enemy armies have sort of gone AFK. We're still gaining supplies every second here, so I don't really see much of a reason to stress.
Ogres.
What are you doing? I mean, should we go down there? I don't really want to take any damage. If supplies are infinite, then tower health is infinite. Kind of think we just... Okay, that Iron Blaster did start shooting at least. Ammunition is also infinite. Okay, there goes their morale is dropping. The Iron Blaster's kind of hitting them occasionally. It does seem though like a lot of the units that are down in this area just kind of have their brains turned off. Okay, they're starting again. They're trying. Yeah, I think we are going to have to actually go down here, perhaps. The other thing we could do is... Here, I'm going to let this get nuked. And then I'm going to rebuild all 4 of the towers down here simultaneously so that they finish simultaneously. And the grouping of them, the tight grouping of them, should solve this problem pretty quickly. From oh, sorry, I can't do it for another 30 seconds. It does feel like there should be a button on this to just, like, refill the tower, though. Okay, let's... While we're sitting around here, let's go ahead and commit some more resources.
When do we eat?
Do we want to replace the lost throwing knives? Yeah, I guess. They're getting some stuff done. Some of the units we're facing are pretty low on armor. That unit.
When supper?
It is not legitimate for that unit to still be alive.
The more cold
Alright, let's get down here and make this happen.
of the volcano.
I'm gonna leave the iron guts behind. We'll take the lead belchers, though.
Belchers.
Okay, it is going to be beneficial to us to have these towers recreated for future waves, so let's just go ahead and do that.
Iron guts.
We should be able to get down here and get this going pretty fast, I think.
Fire belly. Many pistols.
Yeah, not a lot of very impressive units here.
Hunter. Immolation. Incineration.
Okay, well, all of a sudden we're allowed to try to capture the throne room, but it feels like we should clean this up first, doesn't it? I guess we don't have to.
Scourge of beasts. Chasing prey.
Yeah, maybe we just move forward. This battle is paced extremely weirdly.
Man-eaters.
I mean, as long as we still have the barricades, yeah, we can just move forward.
Carve the meat. Let's go, boys. All right.
It definitely, now that we're already down here, though, you know, listen, these costs are so sunk, right?
Hunted. Fire is life.
I hate the fact that nothing can make these units of horrors actually break. And I do want to ride forward and just murder the horrors with the hunter, but probably not through multiple full health units of bloodletters. That seems irresponsible.
Lead belchers.
Oh, it's doing the infinite spawns thing with the soul grinders too? That's crummy. You just get back up here. All right, I guess let's just disengage from this. I would like to be able to have functional defenses behind for the next, like, actual wave segment, but it looks like the game is not interested in us doing that, so fine. We drew some of these units forward into the tier 2 towers, though. That's nice. The area 2 towers, I guess I should say. Okay.
Hungry.
withdraw these ones.
Me! This way! Pull it out!
All right, go home and heal. Get ready to come back.
Iron God!
Okay, so they have a couple of soul grinders. This doesn't look too bad. I think we can pretty much just approach here. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and click you right through. Probably don't want to do that with the hunter because he'll actually get there way before everybody else.
Hungry! Man-eater pistols! Ogres! Gush out, boys!
Okay. Yeah, I would feel a little bit better if I could just refresh these barricades. All right, well.
Hungry! Pray!
Oh my god, he is so slow.
Eternal!
Let's move up. We can maybe like throw a fireball or something.
Flame spreads! I seek!
Oh, sorry. You're not in melee mode anymore.
Yes! Hunter moving! Limb from limb! Biggest in the tribe! It's happening! Ogres! Done!
Okay.
The strongest!
He's going for it. He's going to get there someday.
Iron guts!
I guess at this point I'm going to have everybody run up.
Spreading fire! The tracker. Most prudent. Man-eater pistols!
Okay.
Off we go!
We could definitely get a greater volume of fire going than that. I was kind of hoping he would run past and then we could have him do like a flank charge, but whatever.
Eternal. The strongest. The fattest.
There we go.
Hungry. Follow the Moor's call.
Okay. We do actually have to stop and kill these two to unlock the depths of the forge, but it feels a little unnecessary, doesn't it? There's just two of them, and they don't really seem to be able to do any damage to us, so... Oh, sure, I should probably bring these with us. Kind of forgot to issue them new orders.
Guts out, boys! Find a meal! Find a meal!
Okay, let's see what happens. It's entirely possible that the, Be'lakor is going to come down from here right away, but we also might have to do another wave or something, so... Let's just try to get down here and be prepared. If Be'lakor does come down, I want him to have to deal with Greasus immediately. You can probably stand off to the side, actually.
Chasing prey.
Alright. Looks like we're going to have to do at least some amount of wave stuff. Although this is not, so far this is not inconsistent with what we've seen in the other battles. So let's try to keep the enemies from hitting us from every side simultaneously. That would be cool. Although it does look like there's only going to be so much we can do about that. This area is not secure. Is that everything? That is everything. So we're only able to defend a pretty small number of these entrances. All right, well, have to do. I guess let's put this up. No, putting this up doesn't do anything because they can't come up the backside of this. They have to. This cuts off a longer route that they definitely already will not be taking. Okay, 688 supplies left, and we have, yeah, kind of the same stuff as usual in the supply bin. All right. Is Be'lakor himself going to come down? Oh, I didn't give you guys explicit orders either. And I definitely should not rely on the idea that you will figure out what I wanted you to do.
Looking for me! Looking for me! Tribe on the move!
Okay.
Tyrant of tyrants!
So 1,500 for the man-eaters.
I may not be a god yet, but you will suffer. My majesty. These idiots don't know when to quit.
If I'm being honest, you don't seem all that much more majestic than any of the other demon princes. Aha. Knew it. Knew they were gonna pull some shenanigans. That's a Slaneshi one. That's pretty. Yeah, you should probably try not to be right there. I guess the thing to do is to turn around and shoot Be'lakor like a whole lot with all of the ranged troops, right? You guys shoot at him. You two just kind of run to center and shoot at him. The hunter can throw one of those probably. May as well pitch a fireball. I don't know.
I want it all.
Okay. Iron Gut's not doing a good job of engaging this thing at all. Oh, and he just landed right next to Greasus. I can't say that I think that was a very good idea.
I am legend.
Alright, I'm going to nuke the combat stats of this, if it will let me. There we go. Give my team a little bit of a better shot against it. Let's try to move these out to a position where they'll actually be able to do something. You threw your thing, and then at this point, it's probably... Yeah, it's probably sensible for you to just, like, melee mode some infantry or something. Did the fireball go off? The fireball is going off.
Here I go.
Fireball, it got to 1% and then it just, or one second left on the cast and then it just stopped.
Flaming footsteps.
It does seem like he's completely disregarding Be'lakor, which I don't think is a great plan. Alright, which unit of man-eaters is actually suffering the brunt of this?
Greasus, Goldtooth.
Alright, Greasus is trying he's just getting him with side swipes. Listen, it's really hard to turn the cart around. Yeah, and he's tall enough that there's still some amount of pistol fire going on, but honestly, he's gonna lose so badly straight up against Greasus that it kind of doesn't matter. And then once he's dead, presumably we still have to clear out the rest of them. That would be my assumption.
Rejoice in flame.
But let's all focus up and kill this demon prince as quickly and efficiently as possible.
I'll do it.
We are maybe suffering a tiny bit of a breach over here. You should definitely... Actually, those are only plague barriers. I was like, yeah, go jump them because they have an ammo bar, and I thought they were horrors. But if that's not the case, maybe actually who gives a shit? Maybe who gives a shit is my official stance on that unit. We can have, like, we can have some Iron Guts. Deal with them. That probably won't be a big deal. He did land right in the middle of my guns, and that would have been a big problem under some circumstances. It turns out we didn't need the guns to do very much shooting this time.
Me! Crunch their skulls! Greasus!
Greasus can't reach him. He's getting in the middle of all the...
Greasus!
There we go. Okay, he's down.
Devour!
You would think that would have some more immediate effect on the battlefield, but I guess we'll... You know, listen, he's down but not out. We're going to have to do a finishing move on him. Greasus' animation is really long, so you really want to... You want to finish off all the other enemies in the area first. It's a standard Apex team play stuff, you know. What do we got over here? Those are pink horrors. Go fight those. It does seem like the enemies are having a hard time actually even making it over to us. So good work, towers. Try to turn some of these units around. Bring in our... Oops. Nope, don't do that. Let's bring in our cool reinforcements. We still have 3K left. What else do I want? Let's bring back the iron guts that we sent out earlier, I guess.
Many are pistols! Bring us speed!
Alright.
Dead!
I'm going to group all the man-eaters together for easier ordering.
When do we eat?
Well, we got Pox Riders, which I dislike very much.
Let's go, boys!
Be great if we could get y'all over here. And then, like, probably the Iron Guts should be
Time!
in more of a melee position,
Yeah.
so that everybody else can do the stuff they should actually be focused on. Hunter, are you not... Oh, he's fighting other guys. Well, you should probably stay on those guys until they are properly broken. But somebody should do something about all this noise. What's come through behind them? Minotaurs? So I don't want to just push an Iron Blaster over there then. That seems like a lot. Greasus. Yeah, actually, Greasus fighting Minotaurs. That makes sense. Oh, he's all the way in front, because of course he is. Where else would he be? Alright, can you not fall back? Let the Iron Guts do what they're supposed to do, and then we can figure out shooting angles later. And for the moment, the Noblars are just kind of not getting very much accomplished. I don't know. Do this? Okay.
Seeking heat.
They're almost broken. There we go. Ah, see, the Minotaurs want a piece of him. I don't think that's where I really want him fighting. But I do want to finish off these horrors very badly.
Quarry.
These are great weapon Minotaurs? Yeah, that's a bad fight for me. I elect not to engage.
Iron guts.
Alright, y'all. Perhaps a little bit of focus.
Master moving.
Do have to move up and get a hold of some of these dudes.
Crunch their skull. Carve the meat.
Yeah, so we have a lot of enemies sort of streaming in very slowly, but none of this is a real threat to us.
Bring us meat. Rampage this way.
This is kind of like the battle should probably just like end properly as soon as you kill Be'lakor, because this is really anticlimactic. Be'lakor went down, and then we're fighting a bunch of units that we just don't have to care about at all for a surprisingly long time. Let's hold them still, and hopefully the man-eaters just carve them up real fast. I do think it's probably time for Greasus to run this away. pull ourselves in an extra iron blaster, and maybe it will actually shoot things.
Meal time.
We can hope, we can dream.
The more
Seems like a fine time to use a potion.
the older tyrant. Return.
Okay. Let's nuke that one's combat stats. We can definitely have the hunter be disarming these things. Most of the stuff back here is dead, so you can refocus like that. We can have a couple units of Iron Guts also pushing just to make sure these things can't shoot at us eternally. But, like, this is kind of a bummer, right? That we have these, like, infinite groups of enemies spawning on top of us in kind of the most boring possible way.
The tribe. Many years.
We just have to keep running at them. I don't know, give me a giant?
Guns out, boys.
A giant will help with some of this stuff. Although I don't honestly...
Take it.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't trust a giant to hold up against bloodletters. Giants don't really have a lot of, like, defensive prowess.
Off we go.
They're probably going to get chopped up by those bloodletters pretty badly.
Tribe.
That's alright, we're good.
Many years.
The fact is, in terms of
The more
actual threat, there's not a ton going on here. My concern is that we're going to find that we have to kill most of the enemies coming up from the bottom of the map as well, which is just, it's going to involve a lot of walking.
The ultimate hunter! Mine
Do not let those plague bearers throw a lot of grenades at you, although they don't seem to have much interest in doing so for whatever reason.
Many years.
Yeah, enemies.
Aeon.
Stuff spawning behind us. Slanesh goes first.
Biggest in the tribe.
You should probably back up.
Here we go.
We probably have a spellcaster around here who can, yeah, throw up some bonus range damage. Other things on this side there are, and in fact, there are things with ammunition, which I will not allow. Somehow our Firebelly got all the way over here. Don't really understand how that happened.
Wind supper.
I am absolutely going to let the Noblars just tank the Minotaur charge, and then we'll we'll bring people down here to deal with the Minotaurs
Princess.
presently. I guess that's you guys. Go fight these Minotaurs. Okay, yeah, no big surprise. It's like portals keep opening everywhere and stuff keeps coming through, but none of this stuff matters. So it's like, this could be really, really interesting and tense. But I think the fact that there's nothing you can really do about the shape of this map, like there's no way to make this defensible. There's no way to channel the enemies into particular chokeholds or anything. Like, you don't really get any strategy. It's just stuff is showing up on all sides, and then you mash yourself against it and you win, but it takes a while. Is less interesting, you know?
Biggest in the
Alright,
tribe.
let's do some teleport withdrawals if we can.
Many
That
are
thing's
people.
almost dead, and then we can turn the man-eaters around again.
Ask
There
me.
is stuff over here still. Let me pull these iron guts for defense at the front. Oh no, my building. Rhesus is currently not fighting anything, and that should rarely be the case. Although, it does look like maybe that soul grinder is...
Boy.
Where are they go? Okay. Those Doom Knights are needed on their home planet. Oh, hey. The Iron Blaster's actually shooting. That rules.
Their stones.
Is this one? This one should be able to shoot. Okay. The giant finished what it was doing. Let's honestly just have it run over here and form a distraction.
Take it all.
All right, and it is my hope that at this point we have pushed through all of the stuff spawning in this area.
Gush out, boys. Follow more's
Up here into a position where you could shoot if you wanted to.
crunch their skull.
Just see how that goes.
Here we go. The more calls.
I really want to pull out the low health units so that we have the chance at least
Me fast.
to
Hold together.
potentially pull them back in at full health later. Like you should definitely rest.
Leg belt.
You could probably rest.
Me.
Okay, you are nowhere near your healing limit.
Hunt them down!
Oh, those are just Chaos Furies. I was like, if those are like Chaos Knights or something, they're all of a sudden the primary target of the guns. There we go. The game figured out the battle was over eventually. But yeah, like, that could be really cool and tense if the spawning of individual units was more like strategically meaningful. As it is, because there's no way to form a defense in that area, there's these 6 big pillars that are blocking camera vision all the time. You can only build barricades in an arbitrary half of them, and portals spawn inside of the pillar area, inside of the place where you can build defenses anyway. There's really nothing to do except something comes through and you click a bunch of units onto it. It doesn't feel like you really get to engage strategically with the battle very much. It's just running your units back and forth. I don't know. I think the problem is that the fight with Be'lakor happens in such a small... The fight with Be'lakor and that fight afterward with all of the units happens in such a small area. If more of the map was devoted to that, if they didn't feel the need to do the 3-tier thing, and more of the map was set up where, like, you fight Be'lakor once and then he retreats, or... You know, I think that they hamstrung themselves a little bit here by trying to jam this fight into the same 3-tier structure that the other fights had, where the boss monster doesn't show up until the very end. Because the first 2 parts of this map were completely trivial. They were not nearly as hard as any of the actual Demon Prince maps. To some extent, I wonder if there was a bug involved. I mean, the Soul Grinder part was at least a little interesting, but I don't know. I don't think that the design of this final battle feels very climactic. It feels like just another one of those. The fact that it's the easiest one of the 5 of those you've done certainly doesn't help. And I don't even really think that that's because, like, we have, you know, in theory, you're getting more powerful as the campaign goes on. And so this could be easiest because you're most powerful, but we have almost exactly the same army composition and troop experience levels and stuff that we did for 2 of the Demon Prince fights as well, and those felt significantly more difficult.
Let 'em go. I said so.
A battle to draw the gaze of the gods. All breathe a sigh of relief, for Be'lakor is vanquished. Godhood is lost. As was foretold, shackled within the depths of the forge was the body of Ursa, the once mighty god of Kislev. The over-tyrant stands before a lifeless god. The divine corpse still fresh to butcher. An ogre's greatest desire, god flesh, the meat of meats. Once the tribe have gorged, Ursun's remains will be fed to the great maw. Respite from the eternal gnawing hunger. One drop of Ursun's blood was enough to break my curse. The taint purged from the tome of fates. Now it is mine to command. A pure white crow, the lone witness to my ascension. Come, little one. What fate awaits us?
It seems like he should know that, right? Isn't that the whole point of the book? Okay, whatever. We did it! Hooray! Campaign victory! It is so weird to have, like, big cinematic that it brings you back to the battle thing and you have to decide what to do with the demon captives, and then the cinematic, and then it brings you back to here to click OK. Be'lakor has been defeated, forced back to Shadow. The curse he so despises, has worked so hard to break, has been gleefully reinstated by Tzeentch. But the Changer of Ways isn't done with the first Demon Prince yet. He makes Be'lakor a final offer, a way to manifest his physical body once more. Eager to grasp any advantage he can, the Dark Master agrees. He, above all beings, should have known that no deal with the Great Deceiver would be so simple. Be'lakor, temporarily at least, has got his body back, but to his bitter rage, the terms of the agreement soon become clear. He must serve the very foe that defeated him. He must serve you, if you allow it. So we got him as a legendary lord, I assume? I mean, listen, I get it. I don't necessarily think he got played in that agreement. If the choice is non-existence or servitude, I think a lot of people would choose servitude. Okay, this is going to play out very slowly because there were a lot of turns in this game. But I think we did okay. We ended up with a pretty large area. We did a lot of damage to the northern provinces. I didn't realize how close we were to the top of the map. Yeah, they were not sitting on very much territory. It's really remarkable how many armies they were able to run. 192 turns. Where's the part about the battles? These are all numbers that are so large as to have become meaningless to us. Most concurrent armies, 13. It's counting each camp as an army. That makes sense. Personally fought 95 battles. We did, okay, you know, mostly. I am curious about Be'lakor. Let's have a look. So we can banish him, and we will receive really considerable boosts. I mean, obviously we're done with the game. I'm gonna keep him because I want to look at his stats, and then we're gonna stop playing. So I don't care about bonuses to control and growth. So interestingly, he comes in at level 20, and he does require meat. Well, I guess his army would require meat if you recruited ogres to it. So he is the Dark Master. Jeez, that's pretty powerful. Imagine if he had actually used these abilities on us. If he had done this to Greasus, that would have been really annoying. He's got a couple of other cool spell-like abilities. So, passive regeneration. Effect intensity increases by each enemy unit in range with leadership wavering or lower. So it's a constant heal and power recharge, and it's stronger if enemies nearby are panicking. That's a really cool, like, very flavorful design. And... ooh, wow. A passive aura that removes immune to psychology. So it makes units who are normally immune to fear and terror vulnerable to fear and terror. That's very cool. Yeah, he seems like a neat unit. He has... it looks like all of the basic... like all of the darkness spells. This is not... some of the fancy casters have like a mixture of spells from different schools, but it looks like he is just a normal Lore of Shadows caster. I mean, Lore of Shadows is fine, though. It's a perfectly good one. Okay, and aside from that, it looks like all pretty normal stuff. He doesn't have the cool, like, body part system. Obviously, there's a whole faction design behind that. I was kind of hoping, though, that he would have the same body part system as when you play the generic Chaos faction. He's a cool model. He looks neat. He has okay base stats. These being his stats with no skill points in them is... I guess it explains a lot about why he went down like a chump. They should probably spend his skill points before they send him out against you at the end of the game. Anyway, that's pretty fun. We got Bellicor, and presumably the ogres would go on from here to, you know, devour the entirety of the world. So we did it. That's going to be it for us for this campaign. I had to say, a little bit bummed out about the ending. I think that was really pretty anticlimactic. I don't know what you would do to make it better, though. Climaxes like that are just really difficult. There are a couple of missions in the other Total War Warhammer games, a couple of climactic battles, like the fall of... shoot. I can't remember. There's a battle at the end of the... I want to say the end of the Beastmen campaign that feels pretty real. And there might be one at the end of the Bretonnian campaign as well. So they have done things like that in the past. I think this one broke down badly specifically because they were trying to also attach it to that 3-building structure that they used for the other Demon Princes. That is a shame. But we did it, and I could use a little break. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next week, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be other stuff in the next couple of days, but next week we'll be starting some new series, some cool new stuff I'm very excited about, and hopefully you'll all come back for that, and we'll see you then.
This